Hare Krishna everyone, Hare Krishna, welcome back to Shravanam Diaries podcast. I'm your host Sulalita Devidasi and we're continuing to read teachings of Lord Caitanya by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Chapter 32, Conclusion. Thus Ramanandaraya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talked for the entire night. They sometimes danced, sometimes sang, and sometimes cried. After they had passed the night in this way, at dawn, Ramanandaraya returned to his place. The next evening he returned to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After discussing Kṛṣṇa for some time, Ramanandaraya fell at the feet of the Lord and said, quote, "My dear Lord, you are so kind to me that you have taught me about the science of Kṛṣṇa, the science of Radharani, the science of their loving affairs, the science of their rasa dance, and the science of their pastimes. I never thought that I should be able to speak on these subject matters. You have taught me, as you formerly taught the Vedas to Brahma." Unquote. This is the system of receiving instructions from the Super Soul. Externally he is not to be seen, but internally he speaks to the devotee. That is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 10.10. The Lord dictates from within to anyone who is sincerely engaged in His service. And the Lord acts in such a way that such a person can ultimately attain the supreme goal of life. When Brahma was born, there was no one to instruct him. Therefore, the Supreme Lord Himself instructed Brahma in Vedic knowledge through Brahma's heart. Through the heart. In Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.22, Shukadeva Goswami confirms that the Gayatri mantra was first imparted within the heart of Brahma by the Supreme Lord. Shukadeva Goswami then prays to the Lord to similarly help him speak Srimad Bhagavatam before Maharaja Parikshit. The first verse of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describes the Supreme Absolute Truth as He who instructed Brahma through the heart. In that verse, Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagavatam, states, quote, "Let me offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the cause of the cosmic manifestation and its maintenance and dissolution as well. If we scrutinizingly try to understand the Supreme Truth, we can understand that He knows everything, directly and indirectly. He is the only Supreme Personality, and it is He only who is fully independent. He alone instructed Brahma as the Super Soul within. Even the greatest scholars become bewildered in trying to understand the Supreme Truth, because the entire perceivable cosmic manifestation is situated within Him. This material manifestation, a byproduct of fire, water, air, and earth, only appears to be factual. It is in Him alone that the spiritual and material manifestations, as well as the living entities, rest. Therefore, he is the supreme truth." Unquote. Ramananda Raya continued speaking to Lord Caitanya. Quote, "First I saw you as a sannyasi, and then I saw you as a cowherd boy. Now I see before you a golden doll, and due to its presence your complexion has become golden. Yet I also see you as a dark-complexioned cowherd boy. Will you kindly explain why am I seeing you in this way? Please tell me without reservation." Unquote. Quote, "It is the nature of highly elevated devotees to see Kṛṣṇa in everything." Lord Caitanya replied, "Whenever they see anything, they do not see the form of that particular thing. They see Kṛṣṇa." This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.45. "Sarva bhuteshu yah pashyed bhagavad bhavamatmana bhutani bhagavatyatmani esha bhagavatottama." Quote, "One who is," quote within quote, "one who is highly elevated in devotional service sees the super soul, Kṛṣṇa, who is the soul of all individual souls." Unquote. Unquote within the quote. A similar passage is found in the 10th canto 10.35.9, where it is stated that when Kṛṣṇa came before the creepers, plants and trees of Vrindavan, which were laden with flowers and fruits, because he was the soul of their soul, they all bent down in the ecstasy of love for him and became thorny. Because you have the highest conception of the pastimes of Radha and Kṛṣṇa, Lord Caitanya concluded, you are seeing Radha Kṛṣṇa everywhere. Unquote. Ramananda Raya replied, quote, "Sir, I request that you not try to hide yourself. I understand that you have accepted the complexion and mode of thinking of Srimati Radharani, and that you are trying to understand yourself from her viewpoint. Sorry. You have advented yourself to take this point of view. Hare Krishna. Although you have incarnated mainly to understand your own self, you are at the same time distributing love of Kṛṣṇa to the world. Now you have personally come here to deliver me. I request you not to try to deceive me. It is not good for you." Unquote. Being very satisfied, Lord Caitanya smiled and showed Ramananda Raya his real form as the combination of Sri Radha and Kṛṣṇa, a form he had never before shown anyone else. Thus Lord Caitanya was Sri Kṛṣṇa himself, with the external features of Srimati Radharani. His transcendental ability to become two and then to become one again was revealed to Ramananda Raya. Those who are fortunate enough to understand Lord Caitanya as well as the pastimes of Radha and Kṛṣṇa in Vrindavan are able, by the mercy of Sri Rupa Goswami, to know the real identity of Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Upon seeing this unique feature of Lord Caitanya, Ramananda Raya fainted and fell to the floor. Lord Caitanya then touched him, and he came to his senses. Ramananda Raya was surprised to see Lord Caitanya in his mendicant dress again. Lord Caitanya embraced him and pacified him, and said that Ramananda was the only one to have seen this form. Quote, "Because you have understood the purpose of my incarnation, you are privileged to have seen this particular feature of my personality," the Lord said. "My dear Ramananda, I am not a different person with a fair complexion, a Gaura Purusha. I am the self-same Kṛṣṇa, the son of Nanda Maharaj. And due to contact with the body of Srimati Radharani, I have now assumed this form." Srimati Radharani does not touch anyone but Kṛṣṇa. Therefore, she has influenced me with her complexion, mind, and words. In this way, I am just trying to understand the transcendental flavor of her relationship with Kṛṣṇa." Unquote. The fact is that both Kṛṣṇa and Lord Caitanya are the original personality of Godhead. Therefore, no one should try to separate Lord Caitanya from Sri Kṛṣṇa. In his form of Sri Kṛṣṇa, he is the supreme enjoyer. And in his form of Lord Caitanya, he is the supreme enjoyed. No one can be more super excellently attractive than Sri Kṛṣṇa. And no one but Sri Kṛṣṇa can enjoy the supreme form of devotion, Srimati Radharani. All Vishnu forms but Sri Kṛṣṇa lack this ability. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 4.82, it is said that Srimati Radharani is the only personality who can infuse Govinda with transcendental pleasure. Thus, Srimati Radharani is the chief of all the damsels of Vraja, who love Govinda, the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Kṛṣṇa. "Please rest assured that I have nothing to hide from you," Lord Caitanya told Ramananda. "Even if I do try to hide something from you, you are such an advanced devotee that you can understand all my secrets." Can you believe this? Is just so beautiful. "I request that you please keep them secret and do not disclose them to anyone. If they were revealed, everyone would consider me a madman. The facts that I have disclosed to you cannot be understood by materialistic people. Were they to hear of them, they would simply laugh at me. But you can understand these secrets. Please keep them to yourself. From a materialistic point of view, a devotee in the ecstasy of love for Kṛṣṇa is mad. Both you and I are just like madmen. So please, don't disclose these facts to ordinary men. If you do, they will surely laugh at me." Hare Krishna. Lord Caitanya passed 10 nights with Ramananda Raya, enjoying his company by discussing the pastimes of Kṛṣṇa and Radha. The discussions between them were on the highest level of love for Kṛṣṇa. Some of these talks are described, but most of them could not be described. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, their talks have been compared to a metallurgic examination. The metals are studied in the following sequence: first copper, then bronze, then silver, then gold, and at last touchstone. The preliminary discussions between Lord Caitanya and Ramananda Raya are considered to be like copper, and the higher discussions are considered to be like gold. The fifth and highest dimension of their discussions, however, is considered to be like touchstone. If one is very eager to progress higher and higher to the position of the highest metallurgist, one must begin with an inquiry into the qualities of copper, then progress to bronze, then to silver, to gold, and so on. The next day, Lord Caitanya asked Ramananda Raya to allow him to return to Jagannath Puri. Quote, "For the rest of our lives, we can remain together at Jagannath Puri and pass our time in discussing Kṛṣṇa." Unquote. Lord Caitanya then embraced Ramananda Raya and sent him to his own place. In the morning, the Lord prepared to start on his journey south. He had met Ramananda Raya on the riverbank near a temple of Hanuman. After visiting that temple, he left. As long as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained at Vidyanagara, all kinds of people met him, and by his grace, everyone became a devotee of the Supreme Lord. After Lord Chaitanya's departure, Ramananda Raya became overwhelmed due to his separation from the Lord, and he immediately decided to retire from service so he could meet the Lord again at Jagannath Puri. The discussions between Ramananda Raya and Lord Caitanya deal with the most concentrated form of devotional service. By hearing these discussions, one can understand the pastimes of Sri Radha and Kṛṣṇa, as well as the confidential role played by Lord Caitanya. One who is fortunate enough to have faith in these discussions can enter into the transcendental association of Radha and Kṛṣṇa. Let's read it again. One who is fortunate enough to have faith in these discussions can enter into the transcendental association of Radha and Kṛṣṇa. Jai. We have, can you believe this? We have completed teachings of Lord Caitanya. Haribol! Tomorrow we shall start the next book. Which one you will find out tomorrow. So thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is in the description. Please read it yourself, read it along with us, along with the previous episodes. Share it with all of your friends, and let this be a blessing in your life and in the lives of everyone you meet and know. Jai. So we shall see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.